Yo, yo, I'm like an addict, ooh, I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna look back. Never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast, and that's facts. Only I can make a change. Slowly take a step today. I will never be the same, cause that's what it takes.
All right, gang. Happy Monday, October 7th. Mediocre, how you doing, friend?
What's up, buddy? How you doing?
Good. Can y'all hear him okay?
You guys hear me?
Now, all right, that's better. That's better. It was a little bit low there when you said hello. Anya, good evening. Let's see who else in the chat. Anya, Mediocre's in the chat. Richie Rich, what's up? Diana, User One, Jim Eagle, good evening. Treetop. Tito Valdez, good evening. So we're just going to do a quick live stream tonight because look, today kind of sucked in the markets, and especially for some of our more speculative stocks. And I know that maybe some people are wondering what the heck's going on. Maybe you're a little worried. Maybe you're just fine. Like I think. Mediocre, are you just fine?
I'm good.
You feeling worried?
Not at all.
I don't want to. I don't ever want to. What's the word? I don't want to minimize when things are going down. Right? There's always risk of things going down. We talk about that all the time, but that's why it's important to make sure that you're managing your risk properly, not over leveraging in one play to, beyond the extent that you're comfortable with. Everybody's got different comfort levels. But if you're ever in a play where you're starting to feel a little edgy because it's going down too much, you might have over risked your position. So
yeah, I mean, we're at that point, Tony. You tweeted about it. We talked about it today, right? That we're at that level where we need to see what happens, and I'm comfortable where we're at, though.
I'm going to put the AMC chart up on the screen. Maybe we'll put the GameStop one up as well in a minute.
Cheers, everybody. Salute.
Salute. This is AMC. So, I tweeted this out, and I put it on the community tab on YouTube just to let you guys know. I see a lot of people, ladder attacks. Gary Gensler, where are you? Crime in plain sight. Where are they coming up with the shares? Mediocre, we drew these supply and demand zones many, many months ago and have been telling you guys it's going to probably trade ping pong, as my good friend Lou from New York likes to say. It's going to ping pong between these zones until we have some real news that takes it out of the zone. So for me, there's nothing crazy going on here. However, look at that bottom of the last candle here, Mediocre.
Yeah.
We're right. I mean, we traded into this demand zone, and I did buy some today at 420. I did not get $4.12.
It would have been nice.
Want to go on the record that I did not get the low of the day because people like to lie and say, I say I always get the bottom. Not today, friends.
Yeah, neither did I, Tony, but I like where I got in at.
I bought a little bit at 420. There's still risk it could go lower. Wouldn't you say, Mediocre?
There's a possibility, right? We need to say how well our support level is right here, and let's see what we can do.
Yeah, the reason I say there's a possibility is because I mean, we haven't tested this price range really since end of May. And so
Right.
now we're about to find out
Yes, we are.
over the next day or so. We will find out. My hope is that we get a bounce somewhere in this demand zone. And I have this drawn at about 4096. So I had another order in today for $4.10, which didn't get filled. But if it drops below that, mediocre, let's zoom out and see. My hope is that it doesn't drop below that. But if it does, let's just take a peek here. If there's any level of support that we could like, really, we're mediocre. We're like next level support's around $3.
Yeah, that's where we were before this whole roaring kitty thing all started. You know, that big pump.
Yeah. And just like GameStop could go down to the, before Roaring Kitties days, maybe AMC could too. I don't know. I don't really understand what is driving the price down
Yeah,
other than, someone
that's
is selling more. There's more shares being sold than bought. I haven't even checked the short interest. I don't know if they're increasing. I don't really even care, mediocre.
no, I agree. I mean, that's the thing too, Tony. Is you know, we're at that area of where you got earnings coming up in 4 weeks. You got it's going to be a profitable quarter. Uh, Things are looking better for the company overall. So, yeah, I know we have some risk, right, because of the debt, but I don't see an ATM offering in the near future. If we have any sort of dilution, I think it'll be you know um, debt for equity swaps or whatever. But we just had that, so I don't think they're in a hurry to do anything right now. So it's just interesting. I think that the downtick we're seeing is market wide. It has really nothing to do with AMC. That's my thought.
Yeah, let's take a look at the daily chart let's do the 5 minute today on the AMC. So we had a dip at the open, a little bit of rise till about 10:45, and then just slid all the way down. I just want to compare real quick, mediocre, to like Cinemark and IMAX. I looked at them once during the day. I think Cinemark looked a little bit different. Let's see. Yeah, that did not follow the same pattern. It almost did the opposite. IMAX, a little more similar to AMC. They had a good run early, but then they gave back a lot of those gains earlier in the day, later in the day. GameStop just slid all day. And just for another comparison, let's throw the SPY up there.
Yeah.
Mostly down all day, right? Mediocre.
Yeah.
So when I see, I try and zoom out and look at other companies, and especially the indexes. And I'm more concerned if we were trading at a strong divergence to the overall market. If the overall market's red, I've told you guys a million times, speculative stocks are going to get spanked. Your AMCs and your GameStops. They're not what some people try and tell you, the flight to safety when the market's crashing. It's not speculative stocks. You should expect that the speculative stocks are probably going to get spanked worse, because people in a down market day, or in a day where the bond market is trading up, yields are increasing, risk is coming out of the equity market, moving over to the bond market. Your speculative stocks are the first one that the institutions are going to flee. If they're staying in anything in equities, they're staying in safe plays.
You got
Blue
to protect your
chips.
money.
blue chips with dividends, I don't understand this whole nonsense of GameStop and AMC or the flight to safety in a market crash. That just seems like topsy-turvy, upside down world, crazy thinking to me for anybody to say that. That's just my opinion, mediocre.
I hear you. I mean, I don't know. We got 4 weeks. I mean, you think we're going to stay down here for the next 4 weeks? I think it's strange that we're even down here, to be honest.
We're about to find out, what the market really thinks about AMC with some profits. The best thing that could happen to us, I think, mediocre, is for revenue and earnings to beat expectations. Then maybe we get an idea what the market really thinks about AMC's proper market cap in this environment that we're moving into over the next 12 months, where we expect things to get better. I'm also noticing, I wanted to talk with you guys about this, see if you're seeing this. Starting on Sunday and especially today, all the little negative Nellies, the shorts, the people that I follow on Twitter that are known shorts, the Popcorn Project, crybabies, anybody that doesn't like AMC, boy, they were going hard with the negative sentiment.
Were they today?
Talking about the Joker 2 movie. Like all of these people, these alleged AMC owners over in Popcorn Project, the shorts, which at least I know they're short. All of them, Joker 2 did horrible. That the company's doomed. Mediocre. One movie did bad, bankruptcy imminent.
Oh boy.
It reminds me of some GameStop YouTubers who said bankruptcy was imminent because they made a Q3 call in mid-July, the first 2 weeks of the quarter. Guys, like, you're literally 7 days into the quarter. Just chill, bros.
Wasn't that guy incorrect?
He was massively incorrect, yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Maybe you should look at the stack of movies over the quarter and understand the timing and the box office weight. Like, that's why I talked to you guys about it here on the camera. So I still want you to do your own DD, but all these crybabies, the Popcorn Project folks and the shorts, they don't look at anything. They just want to push out negative sentiment because their feelings are hurt or they are short, and DD is not their strong suit. The first 6 weeks of this quarter are going to be light. Just if you're in my Discord, I've already published the breakdown by movie, by day for the entire quarter, my estimates. The first 6 weeks of Q4 are light. So if you're bullish on movies, you're going to have to endure, unfortunately, 6 weeks of yapping from all these people that don't want the movie industry to succeed. That's just the facts. Get used to it. Toughen up, buttercups.
So, Tony, we're not dependent on Joker?
We're not. That's the hilarious thing. Like, I already had Joker pretty downrated. I know there were some people that had very high hopes. I had it at a total box office of 120 million. And I think they came in at 40 on opening weekend. I was expecting 50 on opening weekend. I don't think, mediocre, that I'm going to get 120 now, but I was already like way lower than everybody else.
Yeah.
But
how closely do we watch this stuff?
Super close.
Exactly.
But I mean, Joker being off by 40 or 50 million is not going to blow my forecast for Q4. The heavy lifting, the ones I'll be worried about, is at the end of this month, where I have heavy weighting on some of these bigger titles starting around Thanksgiving through the end of the holiday season in December. So I guess, I'm not trying to tell you guys what to do, but if you want to know how I'm feeling about this weekend, Joker, the price action, don't really care. I bought a few shares today.
Tony, you seen it too. You hadn't seen it, right?
I saw Joker 2. Yeah, I liked it. My wife fell asleep. I liked it, and she fell asleep. Mediocre. She didn't particularly care for it.
It is what it is, right? Some people are gonna like it, some aren't.
Yeah, it was.
Like that with every movie.
The director took some chances, and he didn't follow the normal formula for putting out a DC themed movie. So, oh man! All right, let's see what folks are saying in the chat. And mediocre, I want to talk about options. Someone asked me earlier, should they? What do I think about? Not should they, but what do I think about them selling $4 puts? I haven't even looked at options this week for AMC. We'll look at that in just a second. But let me see what questions we have here. Jim says the hopium is they can only run it to zero. Is that the hopium of the shorts, Jim? Richie Rich says if AMC gets knocked down before good earnings, it reduces how much it might go up. That is a good point. What do you think of that, mediocre?
Yeah, I mean, we've always considered that. We talk about it all the time, which is why we don't have super high price targets on AMC. That's why when people ask us, "Oh, what's your price target?" Like we don't. I'm not going to give you some crazy price target because it depends on the overall market, what's going to happen in that time period, right? Like how the stock trades, what news, a lot of things that happen in that quarter. So for me, I think it can do this as this is reasonable, and that's where I stick around at.
Bender says, Tony, did you forecast AMC to be down 99% in advance? I mean, Bender, first of all, you have to start with what was the valuation before the run up. It drives me nuts. These people that say it's down 99% from 72. 72 was never a price grounded in reality. Would you guys agree with that? That was a squeeze price or a FOMO run price or a sneeze or whatever you want to call it. That price was never grounded in reality. And all these people saying, the shorts. What is the phrase they use, mediocre? I heard people say it was not overvalued at $70. Like, come on, be real, guys.
I mean, I'll admit I was even delusional.
But I know mediocre back in 2021, we were playing it for a squeeze, but I'm pretty sure everybody knew that the company had a massively upside down balance sheet and losses, no earnings.
Yeah.
We all knew that, right? If you didn't, why aren't you looking at the financial statements?
We did know that, but we chose to ignore it back then because we had over 20% at short interest, and
right.
There was a lot of retail behind the stock. I mean, a lot of people think retail is still behind the stock, which there is a lot of retail. Don't get me wrong, but it was a different time then. Everybody had free money from the government. It's just not the same now.
So Bender, to answer your question in the way that I've talked with people every day about this when they ask me about the price is the price, but really what I look at, the proper way to look at it, what is the historical market cap? Because the price is also a function of the number of shares, and the company's been diluting. So right now at this level we're at, we're close to a historical norm for market cap. So it's probably somewhere in a range where the market feels this is fair. It's really hard for me to say what is a fair value for AMC because they still don't have 4 quarters of positive earnings. How do you value a company that is making losses? You can only make guesses about when it's going to be profitable. So I was talking with someone earlier today. He asked me, is AMC a value play? I would call AMC a speculative recovery play. speculative because we don't know what's going to happen yet. They're still not, they haven't booked 4 quarters of profits. The balance sheet still needs work. It's still negative book value. There's a lot of speculation if we're gambling on things to work out right that we don't know with certainty. We're basically gambling. That's why I've always kept the size of my position something that I could sleep with at night. And you're never going to hear me go on social media and cry if that were to all go away, because it's inconsequential to me in terms of my overall portfolio.
I don't think there's any reason to cry regardless. I mean, you're in the play. You should understand what you're investing in, right?
That is incumbent on everybody. Understand what you're investing in. And I want to continue to reiterate to all of you, learn to become unemotional traders. Decouple from both the pumpers and the conspiracy folks, and search for facts, search for tangible things you can read. 10Qs, financial statements, company press releases, credit reports from Moody's and S&P, and maybe even the thing we hate the most, the analyst reports. Now, I take all analyst reports on any company with a grain of salt, but I still read them. I can try and make some determination if the analyst has a foot grounded in the truth, or if they're pushing some narrative. But seek out all sorts of information.
But that's the thing, Tony, too, right? You have, you know, insiders, not necessarily insiders, institutions who are reading these analysts their information, right? And they're going through their stuff and choosing whether they're willing to put their money in or not, right? And so they're what analysts say is somewhat important in the market. Like, they're not listening to us on social media. They don't care what we think. What we think don't matter. It's what's her name? Ashley?
Alicia?
Alicia. Yeah, it's what she thinks, right? That's what people will look at. They could care less what Tony Denaro or mediocre traders say, right?
Yep. And I've also said this, like, the most bullish signal you're going to get in the future, if it comes, is when institutions start buying this. It kind of drives me nuts when people thump their chest and say, we own this. Retail owns GameStop. Retail owns AMC. That's actually not a great thing. The more I've thought about it over the years, I started asking myself, well, why aren't institutions buying it? Oh, ding, 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 mediocre. You know why they're not buying it? Because there's a pretty high risk that they're going to lose money.
Yeah.
When you see institutions start coming into GameStop and AMC, and that percentage of ownership of institution pushing retail out, you're over the finish line, or you're close to the finish line.
See, for myself and in the group of people I surround myself with, we care more about how many movies Hollywood is going to make, right? What is Hollywood going to put out for movies? Because we're still not putting out the right amount of movies as we were before COVID and all that. So we need to get to a point where the amount of movies increases, and when that happens, then we'll get increase in revenues. That's what we're waiting on. That's what I'm waiting on, anyways.
Blue Sky, I saw your comments on my channel. You're welcome to have your opinion. We'll find out in 90 days. You could be right. I've done my analysis for Q4. I published that in a video the other day. I feel pretty good about 2.4 billion for Q4, which would be a small loss, a couple $1 million for AMC, but we'll see. If it comes in closer to 2 billion, if I'm way off, that's a bigger loss. And there's I think a very small chance, 5-10%, that the number will beat what I'm expecting. But it's not going to be, I think it's a very low probability that it's going to be the $3 billion quarter that some people are expecting on Q4. Yes, there are some big movies. Would I love for them to outperform Absolutely. But I'm going to go into Q4 with the most realistic expectations for box office, because I don't want to overcommit money to a quarter that is going to be bad. I put in a decent amount of work to estimate what the box office is going to be, and still doesn't mean I'll be right. But I guessed on Q3 it would come in between 2.4 and 2.6, and boy, the AMC army came after me all of Q3. Oh, who's paying you to push out this bullshit, Denaro? 2.6. Fuck you. It's going to be over 3. Come on, guys. I came within a couple $1 million of the box office. I'm not searching for a narrative to push. I'm searching for the most accurate guess I can get, because I really don't like being wrong.
Right,
If I'm wrong,
every week.
if I'm wrong, I'll be wrong. But if things start looking bad by Thanksgiving, when the real revenue starts coming, then I'll start revising to you guys early. Hey, we're not going to do 2.4. We'll start making adjustments. But that's where I'm at right now, and that is my legit real number that I think we have a decent chance of hitting. And it's okay with me if you have a different number or a lower number. I'm already hearing people say it won't go over 1.8. Hey, well, we're all here together, bros. We'll find out together. Play it however you see it. Play it that way. That's what I would say. How about you, mediocre? If you've got your DD and you're worried about it, then short it or sell or lighten up. You should follow your own DD. That's what I think.
All I'm going to say is we check box office numbers every week. We're looking to see what movies are performing, what aren't, and you put them in your spreadsheet, and we talk about it. And I don't know what to tell people.
We're all just making our best guesses, right? We don't have any secret info that you guys don't have. This is all just opinion for the next 90 days, and we're all just hanging out here, having a smoke, having a drink, chit-chatting about what's going to be. And you can all still be my friends if you like my number or you don't like my number. I really don't care. We're just here to hang out and see what happens.
It's math. Just figure out some math.
Anya, what's going on? Anya says we know whose advice to take. Don't take my advice, Anya, but you can make it one data point among many. I try not to give advice. I try not to give advice.
Opinion, we give opinion.
Yes, I give opinion. I'll tell you what, mediocre. I don't know how much lower AMC could go, but I remember back in, was it May, when it was trading at $2 and change, all this same negative sentiment that's going on right now.
Yeah.
And people were saying it's going to $1.50, and I was just buying the fuck out of it down there in the $2 range. And then we shot up to $12.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really worry for that. I see y'all fighting in the comments, with each other. Hey guys, people are going to have different opinions. If they're shorts or if they are bitter about AMC now, they're going to come in and they're going to vent on you. Let them vent. They're feeling bad. I do my own DD and I make my own decisions. I'm not here to tell anybody what to do. If my cost basis right now is with the extra shares I bought at 420 today, I am in the red now by a couple pennies, mediocre, because I bought some at 464, 465. So my cost basis is around 435.
You're good.
I'm pretty sure I'll be okay, even if it drops. Even if it were to drop to $3, I got cash sitting on the side, and unless the company comes out with bad news, saying they're going to dilute the rest of the float, I think I'll be okay over the next year.
Here's the thing, guys. I got a $4.97 average on my positions. I'm my shares I'm holding now. All right, so I'm down quite a bit. Um, not as much as others, but I'm not concerned about it. It's not even a. I don't let it get to me. I'm not emotional about it. And here's the thing, just for the sake of argument, I don't think this happens, but if AMC doesn't recover back to $5 and Q4 isn't great or whatever, I have a way out. I have a trading strategy that's going to get me out of the play if that's the case. Okay, so
We will what? Mediocre. Employ the wheel.
absolutely.
If you get stuck with shares, you can employ the wheel and whittle away at any small losses that you have.
Now I could have turned around today and sold $5 call options. I didn't. I'm holding every share I own. I got no options on any of them right now.
I do not either. And let's look at the options, because someone asked me earlier, what about $4 puts for this week to get entry? Selling $4 puts, cash secured, to get a possible entry if it falls under $4. Today they closed at bid 3 cents, ask 4 cents.
So 3 cents, yeah.
I mean, it's not horrible.
If you're just looking for profit premium, it's a good play. Do I think you'll get the shares? Most likely not.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that he wanted the shares, but he was kind of saying if it dropped below 4, I wouldn't mind taking them. It's not a super high amount of premium, but I don't know. At this point, we're right on the demand zone. I'd say it's mediocre. I'm going to say 50-50 odds that we end above the demand zone by the end of this week. It's too early to call for me, because we closed right on the top of this demand zone. We got 4 days to go, and it's the overall market. It's not just AMC that's the problem here.
Yeah.
So how do I guess what the entire market's going to do for the next 4 days?
We don't know, but
you could get pushed below $4. I don't know.
What's her name again? Alicia
Reese.
Yeah, let's go, Alicia. Get your freaking
Alicia, do your upgrade on AMC's earnings. We need some good news.
Jeez.
Blue Sky says the option market has pointed to this play slowly dying, but the bond market disagrees, Blue Sky. But volatility has chilled out, hasn't it?
Absolutely. Volatility has fallen off a lot, which is why the options market has fallen off. It's all volatility. If you don't have people buying and you got the stock price falling, right? And it's not like they're drastically smashing it down quickly. You don't even have put prices up. You know what I mean? Like the premiums on puts is very small. So, there's no volatility really right now.
Bender says AMC can bottom at $2. I mean, could bottom at $1. How about that? We have recent history back before the Roaring Kitty squeeze where it was trading in this range. I bought a bunch back there. I'd certainly, unless some bad news comes out from the company, I'll be buying some more if it goes down there again. Let me get rid of this little line. Those were some great buys. I bought, I don't know, 280, 410. I bought some as cheap as like 238 or 240, and then made 1,000% a couple weeks later. Horrible play, guys. Stay away from AMC. Not everybody wants to be making 1,000%, but I did make over 1,000% in those weeks, because I had, when it started moving, I bought some long call options. But the important thing to remember, even though Bender wants to warn you that it could fall to the twos. Hey, it could. Manage your risk. Manage your risk. That's all.
Yeah.
And if you're really worried about it, sell, take the proper hedging. Sufyan, what's up, buddy? Tony says, hi, Tony. As a GME, hang on, let me get GME on the screen here. Since we got a GME question. He says, as a GME shareholder and investor, I am very concerned about the declining meaningful revenue and the closing of stores. We are one team, though. Sufyan, thank you for your question. I appreciate your concern as a shareholder and an investor, and always happy to answer you guys' questions. It was disclosed in GameStop's latest 10Q in the footnotes that they are looking at accelerating store closures. And so I think you have a valid concern, Sufyan. One that everybody should be aware of. I encourage you guys to read the filings and make sure you're getting the actual information yourself, not filtered information that GameStop pumpers want to, they only want to tell you the good news. They don't want to discuss the inconvenient bad news. That's why I always encourage you guys, read the filings, read the 10Qs. So I think it's reasonable to be concerned, I guess, is the best thing the best answer I could give you, Sufyan. The revenue's been in a decline since 2015 at GameStop. That is also something I'm sure you're aware of if you've been investing in GameStop. And it's expected to continue to decline over the next several quarters until management decides to do something with that cash. Now, I know there are a lot of people that are excited about trading cards and CandyCon controllers. Those are all interesting and valuable additions to the business model. In the DD I've done, talking to owners of brick and mortar card shops, owners of selling cards online, owners of companies that sell cards online, I think that people are vastly overestimating the impact to revenue of things like trading cards. It's not going to stem the bleeding, which is why GameStop's doing things like closing more stores. So I'm just going to close by saying, make sure you're reading the financial statements, understanding how to do a proper valuation of the stock. Watch the video I put out yesterday on how to understand the proper valuation of GameStop. And then, if you want to roll the dice with Ryan Cohen, that's your choice. And good luck to you. All right. Mediocre, you find any good questions to answer there?
Not really. You could, if you want to pull up Blue Sky's last comment, you could do that.
More movies doesn't mean more money for theaters. They have to be good movies to go and see. Look at all the movies that have bombed this year. Yeah, I mean, not all movies are good. Blue Sky, I don't know what to tell you. Blame
Tony,
Hollywood. Yeah.
Do me a favor.
What's
Pull
that?
up Box Office Mojo.
All
Show
righty.
him the number on releases. Because I don't disagree with his comment, but I mean, let's be fair here, right?
Wait a minute. You want to talk about facts, Mediocre?
Absolutely.
You want to look at some data?
Yep.
All right. All right, let's do it.
All right. What do we got for let me see where we're at. Oh, releases right there. See, we got 219 releases in 2024. If you go back to 2019, how many we got? 342 releases, Tony. You see that?
I wonder how that got highlighted and why.
I wonder, Tony. I wonder why it's highlighted. I don't know, man. That's a lot of fucking movies, Tony, Like, they don't all have to be great. I agree with you.
Mediocre,
do you imagine movies matters, period.
Do you imagine that in the 342 movies there were a couple stinkers?
Yeah. I mean, Hollywood's got to do their job, right? Hollywood wants to get paid and make money. They're going to do what they have to do. They're going to keep creating movies. Hopefully, our numbers increase, and as long as we keep steadily increasing, and they keep making decent movies, we should be all right.
Anya and Blue Sky are in the comments talking about who really bears the brunt of the pain when a movie underperforms. The production house is going to bear the brunt of the pain. Don't you guys think? I mean, if you lay out 250 million on production and another 50 or 100 million on advertising, and then the damn movie pulls in 50 million box office revenue, and you got to give half of that to a theater. The theater company came out okay. They made 25 million, but they didn't fill as many seats as they wish they would have. But on a $300 million outlay, the production house made 25 million take home. They're taking the pain. They can't keep doing this nonsense, putting out these bullshit movies. They are going to bankrupt themselves. I don't know where they keep on getting money to fund this bullshit. Put out some damn movies that people want to see, you guys.
I think it's starting to happen. We're gonna find out.
Yeah, to the movie houses, the downside is it doesn't cost them anything other than opportunity cost. If no one wants to see the movie in a 100-seat auditorium, now you only sold 10 seats and 10 popcorns instead of 100 5 times a day, 10, however many screenings they have. But I mean, if that happens often enough, yeah, the movie theater company is going to lose money, but they can survive when the big movies come through. It's kind of like if you want to consider the cyclical nature of that, you just got to survive till the week when a good movie hits. You got to have enough cash flow till the tent pole movie hits. That might be next week or it might be next month. Yeah, Metropolis, golly, man. I saw some brutal numbers on it. Let's see. I think the weekend mediocre, they didn't even make $1 million. Let me pull it up here.
Oh man. There it is, number 10.
Megalopolis. Sorry, I said Metropolis. $1 million. Holy smokes, man. That thing got smoked. Poor Coppola.
Well, they're gonna have to make better movies. I don't disagree with Blue Sky on that point, but
Yeah, I don't
know,
either. I don't either.
the lack of movies is also an issue, right? It only takes a few great movies to really make a quarter.
We need both. We need good movies and we need a lot for AMC to get profitable. Gotta have it. Gotta have it. Which is why we watch it so closely. I feel like we're on the brink, mediocre, but we're not out of the woods yet.
Oh, I agree.
Blue Sky says Coppola put 120 million of his own money into Megalopolis. He got high on his own supply. I had good hopes for that movie, and I don't know if you guys caught my review and my thoughts on it, but over the past few decades, there's only been 2 or 3 movies that I felt the urge in the pit of my stomach to get up and walk out. And this was one of those movies. Just wasn't my thing, and it was so damn long. And probably in 10 years, probably in 10 years, I'll think it's genius. But it was rough. Anya's comment. Whoever thought Barbie would be such a hit? That one?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like all those older movie or cartoons like the '80s type of stuff. That's all making its way back right now. I mean, that's gonna be good money if they keep doing stuff like that, depending on all these remakes they're gonna make, you know?
Anya's making fun of me, mediocre, because I did not think Barbie was going to do good.
Yeah.
It
I
it
mean,
way surpassed my expectations. That that just goes to show. I mean, we can't always get all of them right. There might be a surprise hit in this quarter or in the next quarter. You never know. Anya says they say Coppola didn't do it for the money. He just did it to showcase his art form. Well, I wish I had money to burn like that, Anya.
yeah.
It's a
You know
great
how many
position to be in.
you know how many shares I could buy with that money? Kidding, people. Sarcasm.
Blue Sky says Wicked looks like it will be the highest grossing movie in my opinion. Let's just see what I have for the highest grossing. I do think Wicked is going to be good. Do I have it as the highest? I'm, because I'm not the target demographic of something like Barbie. That's probably why I do a bad job estimating it. And I think Wicked is a similar demographic towards the female audience. I have it a little bit lower than Gladiator 2. I'm worried because I like Gladiator and action adventure dramas that I might be overestimating Gladiator 2. It could be a stinker. But
Uh-huh.
but Wicked looks really, really good. I have Moana 2 as doing better than Wicked, and I have Mufasa doing better than Wicked.
Mufasa's the Lion King, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably gonna do pretty good actually.
And I think Venom, if it's a good movie, will outsell Wicked. But again, I'm not very good at, obviously based on Barbie, at projecting the female demographic, how willing they are to go watch movies. And Wicked does look like, based on the trailers, it looks like a well put together movie. Anya says, "What is the Lost Robot up to?" Let's take a peek, Anya. The Wild Robot, 64 million domestic, 100 million worldwide. Just out of curiosity, do y'all want to know what I had the Wild Robot forecast at? I don't remember. Let's see. I had it at 100 million domestic, and we're at 64, so probably won't get to 100. I was I was a little bit high on all of my movies. I got saved in Q3 by a few of the big ones outperforming. So as I was going through Q4 and doing my research and putting my numbers, I downrated everything. I looked at my performance on predicting Q3. I was like 70% of these movies I overestimated. I downrated all of my numbers for Q4, and I'm still coming in at 2.4 billion. But it's all heavily dependent on a handful of movies, so we'll see.
Hopefully we have some breakouts in a couple,
Yeah,
overperforming.
there were some that well exceeded what I had predicted in Q3.
I'm hoping we get something like that happening.
All right, should we talked about AMC's chart. Let's just wrap up and talk about the AMC and GameStop chart one more time, mediocre, before we wrap up tonight.
Yeah. Oh, we didn't talk about? We were about to, and we stopped.
What's
The
that?
$4 puts. Did we talk about that? Oh yeah, you looked at it.
Yeah, they were like selling for 3 to 4 cents. So I'm just going to guess that there's a 50-50 probability that you'll either keep the premium or get assigned, because all I'm seeing is the AMC's being driven down by market forces, and I don't try and predict the overall market. If I was good at doing that, I'd be trading index options. I'm not good at predicting the overall market on a 5-day basis. I can predict it on a longer trend. But we're in a bit of uncertainty going on right now. I did see that there were some good headlines coming out of China this morning. We got the Fed fucking around with interest rates. We got the bond market acting wonky. We got oil prices. We got the hurricane. We got another hurricane coming. Insurance companies getting hammered. What else we got going on, mediocre? Israel and freaking Lebanon.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
Ukraine and Russia. Just
I'm trying to be like very
the
cautious.
election next month.
The election. If you guys notice, I'm not doing a ton of trading right now. I'm just like, can I tiptoe? What's that song? If you're going through hell, keep on going. Trying to tiptoe through before the devil notices that we're there. Please don't let some of this risk come on and spank us. Let's get through it. But I do have some cash on the side in case the worst happens, mediocre, to go in and buy some dips of whatever. Most of my portfolio is blue chip stocks, and most of it is up. So even if the market tanks, I'm going to be okay. Even in the movie industry, I'll be okay. I don't just own AMC. I have some IMAX. I have some MCS. I'm up, I don't know, 30% on both of those. We're going to be okay. Let's put up the AMC chart. Yep, that's it.
Yeah.
Let's zoom out, mediocre. So the most recent low of the low was back in April. $2.38. That was weren't they diluting or something then?
Yeah, that was all dilution right there. Yeah.
So this was a dilution rundown, and if I remember correctly, mediocre, I've slept since then. I think we were trying to time when the dilution was done so we could time our buys.
Absolutely.
And so I just want to say, for those of you that are saying it's going to go back down to 230, as I recall, that was due to dilution, and we were watching it very closely and trying to figure out when it was done so that we could time our buys right before it started swinging up. And I got my last buy on 415, and it started moving up on 417. So I think we did a pretty good job there. I don't think, unless they announce another dilution, how's it going to go down to 238 unless they announce a dilution?
You got in at like 260 or something, and I was like 290 or some shit like that.
I need to go update this and add the prices. I don't know why they're in the Discord, but I don't know why they're not on this screen. I'll try and remember to do that in the morning.
We made a shit ton of money in that range too.
Could it go down that low? Yeah, I mean, anything's possible. But after the dilution was over, more the range that it wanted to sit was like right around $3, 315.
But that's the thing, Tony. A lot of the debt stuff got kind of taken care of, kicked down the road. A lot of things had happened since we were down that low. That's why I'm not sure we can make it back there. But
yeah, and
it's possible.
We were having some horrible quarters with the actor and writers strike knock-on effect then too, right?
Yeah.
I think the overall sentiment for the industry is vastly changed. The landscape has changed since April of 2024.
Yeah. I mean, if I don't, I'm not concerned about even going down there. If it makes it down there, I don't think it would be there too long. Just it's interesting that we're where we are right now, to be honest. But I
Our
think,
market our market cap right now, mediocre, is 1.5 billion. You guys are telling me you think this is going to fall to a 750 million market cap?
yeah, I don't think so.
I mean, I've been wrong before, mediocre, but that seems a little bit extreme to me.
They like to
It-
keep it around 1.8, which is interesting that we're down this low.
yeah.
That's what I've noticed and looked in the past.
The other things that I was looking at is like the relative position of the 200 and the 50 moving average to where we're at. So since about September 10th, we've been, oh no, since 24th, we've been trading under the 200, which is not bullish. But the 50 moving average is still well above the 200. So what am I saying? It's there's no clear signal to me what is most likely to happen this week, other than I'm going to hope that we get support in this zone right here between 410 and 420. If we don't, then I think you should expect that it's going to go down.
Yep.
I'm putting my money today and maybe tomorrow, depending on what happens, on adding a little bit in this zone. But if it tanks through this, if it falls through it, I'll probably just sit back and wait, see if it goes all the way down to 308. Then I'm not going to try and chase it all the way down. I'll just wait until we get a new firm support level. That's kind of my plan.
Yeah.
And similar thing going on with GME, mediocre. It's been trading in this zone for the same time as AMC. It had a price way down close to $10, but they didn't have 4.6 billion in cash
Yeah.
back then. They reset the bottom support for GameStop back then when it was trading at $10. The book value was, I think, around $4. Book value has been reset with the cash they have on the balance sheet now to around 11. So I'm not saying GameStop's going to go down to $11, but whatever, if it falls through this support, this demand zone, if it falls under it, I don't think it's not going back down to $10. I'll tell you that. Unless there's some news that GameStop drops, it's bad news. I mean, I'm just saying, just based on the chart, just normal market dynamics.
Yeah, I don't see that happening. No. I don't think they put out any bad news either.
Well, Ryan Cohen leaving the company. GameStop announces a reverse merger. I'm just saying, be open to all possibilities. We don't know what they're doing because they haven't communicated anything, right?
Yeah.
We're hoping for good news, but the potential of bad news exists in the universe of universes. We're all hoping for good news for GameStop, but I can't rule out that it might be some bad news surprise. So that's how I do kind of like my risk analysis. What do I think is going to happen, and what am I afraid is going to happen? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, that's a good point that I didn't think of. What if he does want to leave or whatever? Not that he wants to, but who knows? You're right. I didn't think of that. Same thing with Adam Aaron. What happens if Adam Aaron ends up leaving or retiring?
Yeah. Anya says Tony and Mediocre have been saying AMC could go down to 420 for weeks, if not months. I mean, yeah, Anya, that's why That's why we drew the friggin' bars on here. AMC. These green bars are where, if you guys follow my channel, I've both for GameStop and AMC, that represents where I'd like to buy. So I'm hoping it goes back down to those zones. I'm expecting that it is likely, without news, to go back down to those zones. That's why I waited. You know, when I sold in May, I didn't even start buying till August 5th. And that was because we had a 1-day dip to 420 right here. And then I didn't buy for another month. I was like, well, maybe I just got lucky in August, mediocre. Maybe it's not going to come back down. I should have followed my own advice and been more patient. But I didn't buy a large amount up here because I really didn't want to fuck up my 420 cost basis.
I don't blame you. I'm comfortable right now. I'm under $5, you know, just patience, baby. That's it. That's the thing. You got to have patience in this game. You got to be, you know, have no emotion when it comes to the stock. The information is what the information is. That's all you could do, right? Like,
I think the reason people get emotional is because they're listening to people telling them, look at these ladder attacks, Gary Gensler, where are all these shares coming from? This makes no sense. This is crime happening in plain sight. Guys, if you're listening to that nonsense every day, of course you're going to be emotional. But these people don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Like, we kind of laid it out back in June how this was going to play out. And you think I care if it's ping pong and back and forth between those supply and demand zones? No, because it's very normal market behavior. They write books on this shit. Anybody who's screaming at their camera saying they don't understand what's going on, where's the SEC? Go read some books. Take a finance class. This is not difficult stuff. You guys need to cultivate some people to listen to that are not leading themselves around by their emotions. If they don't have a clue what's going on and they're begging Gary Gensler to help them, you probably shouldn't be listening to that person. Just saying.
but do what you want. We don't give a shit.
You do what you want. I mean, it's good for some entertainment every now and then.
I mean, it was like back when conversion reverse split happened, Tony. You know, we told people, and we got so much hate for it. I'm like, Tony asked me many times, "You want to go live and talk about it?" Hell no, I don't want to go live. These people are pissed. I don't want to talk about it. You know, and I feel bad today. I hear people talk about it all the time. You know, you hear people say, "Oh, AMC's 99% down." Blah blah blah. Well,
Why were you buying at 72? Would be my first question.
exactly.
That's the time to
And
be
then,
selling.
what did you do to protect your position, your portfolio? Did you
What?
take steps to protect your portfolio? I did. I know it's, you know, a lot of apes don't really like that. I'm not an ape. Let me be clear. I'm not an ape. I'm not going to destroy my portfolio in my family's, you know, money, income, whatever you want to call it, portfolio. I'm not going to destroy that for the sake of a meme stock. It's never going to happen. You know, I don't mean to be a jerk. I'm not trying to be a jerk, but I come on here to help you guys, talk to you guys, tell you my opinion of stuff. You don't have to listen to me. Tell me fuck off. I could care less. People do it every day.
Baby UFO says, is the court's time being wasted? I mean, do you really want me to answer that, baby? Andre says, I was happy to buy more shares at today. Do you think it will stay at this range next week? I don't know for sure, Andre. I bought some shares today with a limit buy at 420. I had another limit buy set at 410, which did not get filled. But I did not spend all of my cash buying today because I recognize there's a risk both with AMC and the general market. The market was under pressure today. I recognize that things could go down. So I'm always going to keep some cash on the sideline and never say that I can 100% predict exactly what's going to happen. When I have these supply and demand zones up here, this is where I'd like to buy. But generally, when I'm looking at a stock, if I was incorrect and it breaks through this zone, there's books written about it. I have videos on this stuff on my channel and playlists, the education playlist. What do you do when it breaks under this zone? You better have a plan, because none of us have a perfect crystal ball. You better know where the next support line is and why. And then you always be thinking about your plan. Plan for all contingencies.
Tony, throw up Anya's comment. She found the word I was looking for.
Anya, trust fund.
That's it. Can't fuck up my trust fund, Tony. You know that. Gotta keep the trust fund going. Funny shit. Things people say on the internet makes me laugh.
VRO's Trade says, what do you think about Meta breaking over 600? I haven't looked at Meta in a while. Let's take a quick look before we finish up here. Did I ever draw any lines on Meta? Yeah, I have this level of 426 of where I'd like to buy Meta. I don't own any right now. Good Lord. PE forward 27. I mean, I'm not the hugest fan just in general of the company, but that wouldn't preclude me from investing in it if I could get a price that I wanted. I don't know. I haven't even looked at the news. It's just not a stock I follow on a regular basis. Let's look at the Jesus Christ. If only mediocre we had bought here back in end of April when it was showing a nice pullback.
Yeah.
I drew this red line after the fact, by the way. I was like, if it ever comes back down to that level, I'll consider buying it. I've been known to wait a year to buy a stock. We'll see what happens.
Some of these comments are getting fired, Tony. They make me want to laugh.
Like which one?
Oh, you Carls. There's a bunch of them. There's a group from AMC Hawkeye.
Roger says he's buying tomorrow at 390 or 395. Maybe so. Maybe so.
There's a bunch of good ones.
AMC Hawkeye got Meta back at 95. He's still holding it? God dang, that's a nice one. He says he's a buy and hold kind of cowboy. I like it.
That's what he said.
Most of my stocks, probably, I don't know, 85, 90% right now are just stuff that I bought. A lot of them are blue chip stocks. Like, if I were able to get Meta at 426, I'd just sit on it, and I don't need to watch them every day. That's how I have time to make videos or live my life. Especially on a day like today, I didn't really spend that much time watching the stock market because I got my fill on AMC at 420. I set my other limit order at 410, and then I just walked away because I don't need to babysit my portfolio. I'm not like these are plays that I'm going to be holding for a year or more, most of them, the blue chip stuff. And the speculative stuff, all right, it's Monday. It's going down. Might go down all week. Where do I want to buy? Here's the buy zone. All right, I got some. Could go down more. We'll wait and see. Just relax. Relax. Have a plan. And don't think that your plan is always infallible, because the market can fuck you up.
Tony,
Yeah.
are you an ape?
Uh, mediocre. I would identify as a retail trading participant.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
I have been investing for what now, since the early 90s, like 30-ish years. I'm trying to stop counting because it's depressing. I've only ever been a blue chip, long-term buy and hold type investor. But when I saw what was happening with GameStop, it kind of got me interested to learn more about these real communities of traders that could influence a stock like that. And that's how I found AMC. And I was like, all right, I'm going to join. I'm going to go all in, with my time and my commitment and the buy and hold thing. And let's see how this works out. And I got in about 2 weeks before the June run up, which was fantastic. And I made a fuck ton of money on call options as it ran up, and I sold them. So I'll never be red on the AMC play. My mistake, mediocre, was thinking AMC could have a second squeeze and being willing to buy shares at 30, 40 bucks after it came back down.
Yeah.
And then, not having a good plan to sell those shares. And then we had to scrape together a way to fix it. By the time we got down to the AMC 8 conversion,
Yeah.
it was in repair mode on those shares. Luckily for me, not everybody had that luxury. I was playing on house money. So
Yeah.
it is what it is. And we always know, mediocre, how to fix positions. Like AMC's been one of my most profitable plays of 2024, if I can be
Me too.
honest.
Well, yeah,
People
it's been
say
my most
it
profitable, but
sucks, but you got to be willing to trade it. Of course, if you're only holding it, probably sucks.
I did very, very well in ASTS though, but AMC is my most profitable, I would say.
So, anyways, do I consider myself an ape? I mean, I'm a participant in the community. I want to see retail traders succeed, but there's a lot of conspiracy hopium stuff that lulls people into making bad decisions, I think. And it's one thing when I've talked to Massalorian years ago when we started doing live streams, I said, Massalorian, we're not going to talk about any of these crazy catalysts, and we're not going to talk about a price target because we don't know. And even though we did not do that, all those hours, all those days, somehow I wasn't even here when AMC ran up and people were buying at 50, 60, 70 bucks. Now I'm the scapegoat. Everyone wants to blame me for losing money. I was just covering a stock I was invested in. I didn't give you any stupid price targets. I didn't tell you about the conspiracy, the catalyst of the week. That was not me.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a mindset that people got to get out of, like they're like stuck in this mindset. And I think learning more about the market would help people. That's ultimately why you and I come on here, right?
Yeah, and I get a lot of hate still, mediocre, like encouraging people to read books, learn how to read financial statements, understand the risk factors the company publish. Like
Why do you
try
think
and
that?
try and read this stuff. People get really mad at me. Like
Yeah, why do you think that is? It's strange, isn't it?
I'm being paid off by someone to encourage you to learn. I'm working for the man.
I don't know.
Don't
It's
you
weird.
want to learn something while you're here investing? I mean, it's working for me. It works for mediocre. It works for every professional in the industry. Why are you so hesitant to take some of the most basic steps to learn the proper ways to analyze stocks? I still trade speculative trades, the same ones you do.
Mm-hmm.
I do. But I have reasonable expectations.
You're willing to sell for a profit, right?
And I'm willing to sell. And I'm not willing to ride everything to zero.
Exactly.
I don't know why that's such a bad thing, but for some reason, people, maybe they've drank too much Kool-Aid, mediocre.
That seems that way, Tony. There's a
Ride
few
it,
people
ride it to
dishing
zero,
Kool-Aid
or ride it to zero, or you can't be part of the team.
There's a lot of people pushing the Kool-Aid too, which
I
is
know.
another story.
Would you like some orange, cherry, limeade? FFIE, Mullen, AMC, GameStop, BBBYQ? Which flavor would you like? All of them? Oh, all of them? You know what we call it when you drink all of them? You mix them together, mediocre? It's that S word.
Oh man.
Have you ever guys mix your drinks and, they call it I don't want to say
Remind
it.
me of fucking Mr. Wonka right there, Tony. Oh shit.
Carl says, but Tony, I love the Kool-Aid, Tony. I know. It tastes so sweet. It tastes so sweet, Carl.
Oh shit. Speaking
Anya's,
of Kool-Aid, what did you think of the James Janney documentaries? You think they were portrayed correctly or what?
yeah, I did.
Unfortunately,
I think he did. It was not a hit piece on GameStop. It was not a hit piece on Ryan Cohen. It was a criticism of people that are pushing the Kool-Aid, pushing very bad DD. I call them out all the time, not by name, but just by what they do. Don't read bankruptcy documents correctly. They misinterpret them purposely. They don't do proper analysis on GameStop's financials. They overestimate GameStop's earnings every quarter, get on screen and dance, celebrate, and then are wrong, but never admit they're wrong time after time after time. Those are the Kool-Aid pushers, and that's who the document was criticizing, the social media people in the meme stock community. And he was spot on. Yes. What those people are mad about, they're mad that they're getting criticized, and they're trying to say, well, he's criticizing GameStop, or he's criticizing Ryan Cohen. No, he's not really. It's not what I heard. There was no attack on GameStop. There was no attack on Ryan Cohen. It was the people pushing Ryan as a icon, a Jesus. That's who he's criticizing, and I think he was spot on. What do you think?
I have to agree with you, and I'm just wondering why he left AMC out. It's kind of odd because I think AMC falls in that category as well.
There may be one coming for AMC one day, mediocre.
I would imagine most likely so.
Anya says, on Halloween, will you two wear 10 hats? Probably not, Anya. Chrismo says, when I switch my vocabulary from buy to sell and switch to options from shares, the game fundamentally shifted for me.
Congratulations, buddy. I'm glad you're doing good.
That's all we want to hear, is that you guys are winning. Whatever method you take, I'm open to conversations about any type of investing. I don't, well, I'm not going to say that. Anyways, however you want to trade is fine with me if it is working for you.
That's right. You do what you want with your money. I really don't.
We don't
care.
pocket watch over here.
Yeah, we're not pocket watching nobody like others do.
Why do they keep staring at my pockets, mediocre? Keep your gaze up here. My eyes are up here, boys. Quit looking down in my pocket. I know what you're trying to do.
Oh.
Dan says, I listen to you two and do the opposite. I'm winning.
Well, I hope you are.
He's not kidding. He's taking the opposite side of a trade from me. Dan's in my Discord. I don't know what he's doing. I haven't talked to him about any of his trades recently, but I found out one time he was shorting a stock that I was long. I was like, motherfucker, why don't you tell, brother? Why don't you tell me when you're going to do that? But good luck to you. It doesn't hurt my feelings. You got to do what your DD says. Cheers, Dan. He's my good friend over in Australia. Throw another shrimp on the barbie, Dan. Or was it Ireland? I forget. Well, he's one of those countries.
He's in the fucking UK, Tony, for God's sake.
I know. I'm just teasing him.
Oh, shit. I
hope Dan comes over here next year. We're going to go take him around and show him some real Texas barbecue and shoot some guns. Pew, pew,
yeah.
pew. Come on, Dan. Let's go take that thing out to the range. We'll get a whole arsenal set up and let you have at it. South African. Yeah, that's the one I was trying to think of, Dan. Is he Australian, South African, UK? They all kind of sound the same to me. One Stop Print Shop says he did a nice flip on pets this week. Congratulations. Nice. Hey, Mediocre, let's think about I was thinking we should run a pool on what week or maybe what day Mullen files chapter 11. Would you be interested in doing that, or is it too soon?
That's too harsh.
Okay. I mean, guys, I hope you're not invested in Mullen. That's all I'm going to say. Social media. What is this, Carl J? I don't know how to read your comment. Social media to meet a wonderful lady, and she is so far across the pond. I think he's talking to Dan, aka YOLO Ono. All right, Mediocre. I'm trying hard to finish my beer because it's 10:30. We're going to wrap up. I don't want to be up all night. I've been up since 4:30.
I got to get up in the morning because the pre-market is going to come and AMC is going to be.
Let's have a good day tomorrow. China, light us on fire. Let's just check and see how the futures look here in Mediocre.
Green market tomorrow, baby. Let's go.
Let me see if we got any indications. Asia right now. China markets open sharply higher, extending stimulus rally after week-long break. Shanghai market is green, but the rest of Asia is red. Well, shit. The FTSE is green, and yeah, it's too early to say. We're going to wake up early and see. My wife always asks me, why are you waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning? A lot of times you can get the jump on things if you get up early. If it ends up being slow, I can always go back to sleep a couple hours later after the market opens. All right.
Some mornings I just get up, I come in. I said, what are we looking like? And when they tell me it's bad, I just
go back to sleep. Yeah, I don't feel the obligation to trade every day, Mediocre. I got to really have the right setup, but I like to be present to make the choice. Is there a setup? If there's not, I'll go do other stuff. But if there is, I'll sit here and trade all day. All right, ladies and gents, thank you for your time. Thank you for the conversation. Good luck in your trading this week. I'll get some more videos out. We'll do some more live streams. Hopefully the markets hang in there and all of our favorite speculative stocks turn around. Mediocre, you
Take
got
the
any?
emotion. Yeah, take the emotion out of your trading. Get that shit done.
Yeah,
You know.
remember, if you're listening to someone who sounds emotional, you're probably going to lose money. Have a good night, guys.
Good night.
Let's go. Yo, I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna look back. Never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast, and that's fast.